I did not plan to do this tonight, but I have some time, so why not? Why not do a little live stream? Let me just post it. Oh, I've got to actually post the link. That's really important. Don't know what I'm actually going to do this evening, but I just felt like playing. It's been a long day, a long day, and I thought, well, cheer me up. I don't need cheering up, to be fair. But you know, what would be fun? And you know, I'm a guitar player, so sometimes I have been known to enjoy playing guitar. So let's play some guitar and let's have some fun. Comb the beard. I've got the hair sorted out. That tattoo goes really far up, doesn't it? Right, where is my page? Because I need to post this on my page. And then I'll come back, I'll read some comments, I'll do some jamming. If anyone wants any pointers, some advice, some exercises you can work on, some things you can practice. If you want to learn something about guitar playing, cool. If you want to learn something about me, cool. You just let me know. Hey Leon, we need to hook up for a lesson, man. I've not seen you in ages. David, ask me anything, baby. Any DIY advice? No, probably not. I mean, not any DIY advice you should listen to. I know, guitar making me happy. After all these years of playing, I still get happy when I play guitar. Dig up your garden, yeah, it's the best advice I can give you. Now, this is the first time I've had my pedal board set up in such a long time that none of the tone is right yet, but we'll get there. Need more reverb. This is still the only guitar I have in this house. Well, I have an acoustic guitar, but we don't want that. We like playing electric guitar. So let me this for once that one of my V picks is actually starting to wear out. So I'm gonna have to switch over to something with a fresh point on it. In fact, you know what? I should probably do this, shouldn't I? Ha! So having a fun night of playing. Let's see what's going on here. If they dig up any gardens, they'll probably find missing people. I mean, I live in Coltness, so did one of my dogs just fall over and die? You right, bud? You fall off a chair? You were so relaxed by my blues that you just went and fell off a chair. Fair enough. Yeah, so what's up with everybody? Is my loop pedal working? My loop pedal's still working. That's great. I haven't dealt with any of these pedals in so long. I've been pedalless for so damn long. I've still not even done a review of this Joey Landreth pedal, the High Road. Oh, it's a noisy pedal apparently. I don't feel it should be making that amount of noise. There might be something faulty with my signal. I mean, I have used the pedal before and it wasn't that noisy. So, anyway, let's see what we've got going on. Anything cool in store for the next Guitar Souls episode? Yeah, we need to talk about Phil Anselmo a little bit more, but nothing serious has been planned yet. We tend to plan like a couple of days before we record. So yeah. Randy recently had a live jam session with 4 guys, which is going to be a new band. Awesome. It went great, but the other guitar player doesn't write riffs with scales, and I do. Do you see it as a challenge? No. Hang on, David. What did I miss a comment? Oh, sorry, I totally missed that. Oh, so it's a no to the country acid house. I love Nile Rodgers. I love Nile Rodgers playing. I'll prove it. Put a bit of compression on. I really like that kind of definitely. I think his Diana Ross, the guitar riff on "I'm Coming Out" by Diana Ross, is one of the coolest funk guitar parts ever written. And I transcribed that many years ago. It's on my Levi Clay transcriptions page. If you scroll back through the pictures far enough, you'll find that. So yeah, big Nile fan. Definitely a big Nile fan. I like that. If you check my website, I did like the whole Michael Jackson Thriller album. Now, of course, Nile doesn't play on that, but it's that kind of polished funk sound. Like Paul Jackson Jr. plays a lot of the guitar stuff on that album, and and David Williams, and I just, there's something about that. No, good. Yeah, great guitar player. So, sorry, I will carry on. I hate missing comments. So, yeah, there's no problem if your guitar player writes using scales and you don't. You just need to learn. You know, what would be the thing that would get in the way if someone writes with scales versus someone doesn't? So what? Like, you're playing his riffs. Things might not gel so well with each other if you're writing things that sound very composed, that's probably the wrong word, sounds very theoretically correct, and he's playing stuff that's a little bit more free. You know, you might be able to tell your riffs apart a little bit, but I think if you listen to, like, you know, I don't know why Periphery jumped into my mind, but if you listen to some of the riffs on the new Periphery album, that's not the kind of thing that you think comes from a scalar perspective. So yeah. Sorry, David. Riffs are riffs. If it works, it works, no matter what the source. Absolutely. Andrea's online. You would love to share a thing. What thing? Are you going to tell me a story? Okay, cool. I will. I'll see that in a second. $1 a month just for Nile Rodgers. I bumped into Nile Rodgers years ago on Denmark Street, and I enjoyed meeting Nile very briefly. He's someone that time and time again I desperately wanted to interview as part of the magazine when I was working for the magazine, but it never came together, so that's a shame. Play a turnaround in C, then play F major 7, E flat major 7, D flat major, C major 7. It's pretty cool sounding. So let's get rid of the compression. I don't really like compression. So what, like 1625? What do you want me to do? You only want an F major 7. So you've got this movement where. Oh, that's kind of dark. That's, yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. How about like a D flat diminished in there if you play F major 7? So I'm struggling to see what you're going for here, Andrea. Okay. That's a really weird sound, but it's kind of cool. It's not the worst. Yeah, okay, I can get that. 3, 4. And he's doing an F major 7 here, which is... yeah, I mean, Andrea's a really interesting guy, because he's someone that I taught many years ago, but now he's a totally different player to the guy I taught. He's become an incredible jazz player, and that's just obviously not my scene. So I would recommend you go and check his music out, because he's a great player, and he's one of those examples that I point at to say, yeah, see, I have students that are successful, I have students that are great. Steve Kelly asks, hey Levi, a scrolling tab on the Clint Strong vid didn't look like Guitar Pro 7 to you. Did I use something else for that? It is Guitar Pro 7, yeah. How did I get the notation and the tab on the same tab lines? Remove notation. If you remove notation and just have tab, it forces the rhythmic notation to be on the tab. I set up scrolling from left to right, manuscript style, and then zoom in close on it and then screen capture it. So that's how I do that. Oh, okay, shit. Loads of comments coming in. Loads and loads of comments coming in. Which is cool. I like this. Struggling with the intro to Sister Sledge, thinking of you. I kind of want to check it out and help you out with it, but I know I'll get a copyright strike as soon as I do. If you actually do support me on Patreon, David, post it up in the Facebook group. I'll take a look at it and I'll help you out. Zenon52. Hey man, I just finished my jam session. I have a question for you. What, in your opinion, are the pros and the cons of shredding? What do you mean? I don't understand. That's a stupid question. Congratulations, you win my stupid question of the day award. What are the pros of shredding? It's a way to... It's like asking what are the pros and cons of playing slowly. The pros and cons of playing slowly. The pros are sometimes you need to express yourself by playing something slowly. That's a pro. So if you need to express yourself in that way and you can play slow, there's a pro. The cons of playing slowly are sometimes you need to express yourself in ways other than playing slow. And if you can only play slow, and therefore you play slow in the given situation, it's kind of a con at that point. The pros and cons of shredding. I can actually give you a deeper answer than that, though. You know, I come from that kind of shredder background. I spent all of my youth practicing, like... None of that really exists in my playing anymore. But you know what I mean? Like, I practiced shred for a long time because I was really into the sound. What I think anything does, if you learn a style, it pollutes your ears. And you hear those things when you're improvising. Because when we improvise, we play things that we hear, right? So if you spend your entire life practicing to go... all day, every day, just... stuff that I don't do anymore. If you practice that all day, then when you hear someone play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3... and I say play a solo over it, the first time, you know, the ideas you're going to hear are going to be things like... whatever it is you do, right? So I feel it can pollute your mind in that way, where you start hearing things that you wouldn't initially hear. You know, when I was a kid, that wasn't really the thing that I heard that made me think guitar was cool. It became the thing that I thought was cool, and that's because I exposed myself to it for maybe too long. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely still like shredding. But yeah, it's like anything. The pros and cons of any one thing. It's like, what are the pros and cons of slide guitar? Sometimes the pros of slide guitar are sometimes having a really expressive, being able to play, very lyrical, vocal, emotive ideas is exactly what you need. But then other times it's not. So it's both a pro and a con. So there we go. Hope that helped. Niall was a great producer. Yeah. When I met him, he had his guitar with him, but it was in a bag, and I kind of wanted to be like, dude, there's the Hitmaker in there. Can I play it? But he was in a rush, and to be fair, I don't think you just ask people, can I play your guitar? So yeah, the guy's an all-round genius when it comes to making funky, catchy pop. Yeah, I did read his autobiography. Yeah, a great book. Yeah, I think when you talk about telling the same stories over and over again, I think that's part of being a media personality. Now, of course, I'm not a media personality, but I do tell the same things over and over again, and it's not for any reason other than they're genuine experiences. And when you ask me about something, that one of those experiences will be the things that pops into my mind. So yeah, I understand why Niall will do that. And over time, if you're a great storyteller, and I don't consider myself to be a great storyteller, but if you're a great storyteller, you refine those things over time. The stories become more refined. You'll embellish on them a little bit, the bit of Chinese whispers goes on, the story gets a little bit more embellished over time, and maybe morphs away from the original point. But yeah, I understand that. So, cool advice, Levi. I can't remember what the question was, Randy, that I gave cool advice on, but I'm glad it helped. Can I recommend a complete learning book? You know what, I can. Country Guitar, the Country Guitar Method compilation is the complete country guitar learning experience. There you go. No, I don't think there is much of a complete learning book, because guitar is so broad a genre. Like, even if there wasn't a book that you would consider a complete one, I'm a writer, as you know. Like, I write books, I write magazine articles, I ghostwrite. I do a lot of writing because I'm good with words. So I'm a writer. So you'd think there'd be a gap in the market where I'd say, well, there's no complete learning book. Maybe I should write that complete learning book. The problem with that as an idea, though, is it can't be done. It'd be too big. It'd be so big no one would be able to print it. Like, I've been playing guitar for how old am I now? I'm 30, heading into 31. So I started playing when I was 14. So 16 or 17 years I've been playing the guitar for. And I'm just starting to scratch the surface of guitar and learning. It's really annoying me, the white balance on the camera. Let me just fix that, because it's very yellow, isn't it? You can figure that. How do I do that? Like this. That's a bit red. There you go. Maybe a bit blue, but they'll do. So, do I like the Steely Dan sound? Yes, absolutely. That kind of polished LA, cool, funky pop, jazz pop, jazz. It's kind of like how would you describe Steely Dan's sound? Like synthesizer, funky jazz pop. Let's go with that. I like that. What songs can I do? I don't really understand the question. What songs can I do? What would you like me to do? Let's do a song. Let's put the gate on. No, I can't play any songs. Sorry. That's just such a broad. Like I don't even know. Let's go. I see you driving round town with the girl I love, and I'm like, what's the next chord? Fuck you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, fuck you and fuck her too. We'll go with that. Oh, I tell you what, I was doing a song with a student this week. Brad Paisley's letter to Me, which is a really nice like. It's actually really, it's a masterclass on inversions. If I could write a letter to me and send it back in time to myself at 17, first died, what's the next chord? Is it D? Yeah. Prove it's me by saying, look under your bed, there's a skull can and a Playboy, no one else would know you here. Then I'd say I know it's tough when you break up. We're going somewhere cool with this. Break up after 7 months. Yeah, I know you really liked her, and it just don't seem fair. But all I can say is pain like that, it's fast and it's rare. Where's it go from there? It's on the A. And, oh yeah. I know you got so much going for you, going right, but I know at 17 it's hard to see past Friday night. She wasn't right for you, and still you feel like there's a knife sticking out of your back, and you're wondering if you'll survive. You'll make it through this and you'll see you're still around to write this letter to me. Yeah, what? In there somewhere. That's why I don't sing. So there you go, play some songs. Thank you. Is that Mehmet Samet, is that Tash? Tatsu, maybe? My eyes don't work apparently. Jazz Club, nice. Parallel major chords with 4th in the bass, major 9-ish. What was it called? I'm not sure what you're asking there. Parallel major chords with 4th in the bass. Who, like, you put the 4th in the bass, you have like, with the chord changes, you take a D major chord, and you put the 4th of D in the bass, which is G, it stops sounding like D. Sounds like a G major 9 with a sharp 11. Which had a kind of Steve Vai vibe to it. So, could I talk about percussive funk triplets like Tomo Fujita and how I practice them? Like that, I think of that as being like what Guthrie always calls circus funk. So you do like yeah, so it's been a long time since I've done that. Yeah, so that type of thing. as you'd expect, you're doing the triplets, right? And I'll do the Guthrie spiel. But in essence, you're not really counting the triplet. You're focusing on hitting an upstroke, triple up, triple up. So I'm just focusing on, I whip my hand and I focus on hitting that upstroke. That kind of pushes everything into time. So that's the kind of triplet thing. And the faster you work on that, the more you realise it is a whipping motion. And you can refine the motions. You don't need to strum all 6 strings. You can just hit 1 or 2. And Guthrie points out that when you do that, you're focusing on hitting that upstroke. Well, if you do the same thing, you focus on hitting the downstroke, then you get the 32nd note strum in there. So instead of going, we're focusing on going. And you put that and you get this kind of. I need a thinner pick. You can't do this with a 2.75mm pick. Ow, I hurt my thumb. Long while since I've done that though, sorry. Thanks man for the shout out. Yeah, you're one of the dudes. Basically, it's an ending that Barry Harris and Bud Powell do. Summarised it using position 4 F major, about the 5th. Okay, root 3rd, 7th, 3rd. I hate that voicing. It's the classical guy in me. And then move the 7th to the 6th. For all the other voicings, or so you play F major 7, and then. Or do you mean literally going? That's kind of cool. Yep. So, oh yeah, okay, same 4. So yeah, like that. That's kind of cool. You're thinking 7, 9, 8, 7 type voicings. I must have missed something there, Christian. It's like a like a B over E. Do I like Van Halen's guitar playing? Jesus Christ, yeah. Van Halen's like one of my all-time favourite guitar players. And how couldn't he be? I'm not going to insult anyone by sitting here and trying to play Van Halen. I do it in lessons with students from time to time. I went to New York almost primarily to see Van Halen. a good few years ago because David Lee Roth, you know. And they played most of Van Halen 2, which is my favourite Van Halen album. But if you look at, like, Eddie's one of the greatest rhythm guitar players that's ever lived. You try and play I'm the One and get it sounding good. It's fucking hard. Yeah, I say that. I've never been able to play just that riff and get it to sound the way Eddie does. Eddie really swings with that riff. Eddie's great. Eddie's absolutely incredible. I did some transcribing of some of the solos from Van Halen 2 on Patreon a very long time ago now, actually, to be honest. David asks, when I'm playing that kind of thing, would you happen to know any good jazzy guitar music that's danceable, kind of like Jamiroquai, but a bit more guitar focused? Actually, I'm constantly pushing them. He said Jamiroquai, but a bit more guitar focused. I'm constantly pushing the band KC Roberts and the Live Revolution. That's KC, the letters K and C. KC Roberts, as in like Howard Roberts. I don't know why that's people. I'm expecting people to know that just as well. But KC Roberts and the Live Revolution, in particular, they have an album called Parkdale Funk, 2 sides. Awesome, love it. That's very, very jazzy, funky, very cool. So I'm gonna recommend that, and also good songs. I mean, that's what's important, right? All right, mate. Guitar or drums? I have the same motivation for both of them, but I want to dedicate all of my time to just one. Guitar or drums? Well, I lean towards guitar, obviously, because I'm a guitar player. They're both art forms, though, right? Rhythm is at the foremost of importance when you play drums. Rhythm is not just as important. No, yeah, fuck it. Rhythm is just as important when you play guitar, but it's often neglected. Sitting tight in the pocket and oh, okay. Well, I enjoyed your comments, Declan, and then I saw you posting shit, so you get put in timeout. Bye. Not entertaining your questions. What's the best way to visualize the fretboard? Most of the cage and pentatonic diagrams I've seen only have the root note outlined. Should you memorize the intervals in each position? Oh yeah, 100%, man. 100%. It doesn't matter what I'm playing, where my hand is. If I put my little finger down on the G here, if you ask me to play the 6th, there it is. If you ask me to play the 7th, it's there. If you ask the 5th, it's there. If you ask for a sharp 4, it's here. Like, all of this. Now, it's still a caged framework. Very loosely, it's a caged framework. All of those voicings. But when I, improvise, I'm playing with a pool of notes when I do that, and I could improvise like that again and just call out the intervals that I'm playing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, flat 7, 5, 3, flat 3, 2, root, flat 7, 6, 5, 4, flat 3, 3, 1, flat 7, 1, flat 3, 3, 5, 6, flat 7. Get there. There's the 4th. It's difficult to deal with that with the delay that we have, but you could freeze me at any point and say, Levi, what interval did you just play? I can always tell you, absolutely always tell you, because that's what's most important. So no matter where you are, this voicing, this voicing, this voicing, kind of the main three that I'm dealing with, you need to know those intervals. So if you're asked to play something like, I don't know, Mixolydian flat 6, I know what that means. Mixolydian flat 6 is the Mixolydian scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7. There's also a flat 6. So I'm thinking I think vertically, so 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 9, 11, and flat 13. 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 9, 11. Carried away. Jimmy Don, the Beato book. If that's in reference to a complete method book, no, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm not doing the Levi Clay book. No, thank you. Can't go wrong with Master. I assume that's in reference to Master of Puppets. Nice cut, Levi. Thank you. I'm looking very Richard Spencer, unfortunately, but this is how I wear it now. I'm getting to that age where my hair needs to be short. So my hair needs to be short and my beard needs to be long. So book or lesson to start learning lead playing? That's a great question. I would say lesson. I usually say lesson because it's very difficult to effectively analyse where your playing level is. It's very difficult to effectively be able to look at your playing and say, these are my weaknesses. It's the reason I surround myself with great players. Like, one of my best friends in the world is Martin Miller. I love Martin Miller to bits. I speak to him most days. He's like a brother to me. And I can always bounce something off Martin, and he's always going to give me honest feedback. He's always going to help. And I'm always learning from him. And if I just had a book, I wouldn't necessarily be taking that. Now, once you've had some lessons with people, once you've got that input from a more experienced player, then you know what the areas are that you need to work on. Then a book isn't so bad an idea. In fact, I prefer books to videos, to be completely honest with you. I have a huge collection of videos, but I have an even bigger collection of books over there because I like reading. So I'm a big fan of videos. Big fan of books, but nothing is a substitute for an actual lesson. So yeah. What happened to no copyright strikes? What did I do? Craig, yeah, how's it going, man? Long time no speak. You have a tear in your eye. Let's actually. Declan doesn't get to contribute anymore, unfortunately. When's that funk book coming, Levi? I'd love to do something on funk because I genuinely really, really love funk guitar. Absolutely love funk guitar, like more so than just about anything. It's so like there's so much funk in my blues playing. Like I'll go deep cut. My favourite funk tune, without a shadow of a doubt, is "Down to the Nightclub" by Tower of Power, because I just find that everything about that particular song, everything about the groove, everything about how the band shift with each other, and the guitar parts are just so funky, and it's the bump, but it's not quite in time. And then there's this Garibaldi plays this slightly off kilter snare fill, which leads into the version. It feels a little bit rushed, but that's cool. Like you're pushing with that rush and so I really like Tower of Power. So Down to the Nightclub is awesome, and I could talk all day about stuff like that. I don't have my Romeo comparison. No, I sold that in order to buy my first Mayonnaise, and regret it. I would like that guitar back, to be honest. Play some Van Halen. what you want, baby, but I got something you need. Ain't talking about love. My love is rotten to the core. I shouldn't sing. I definitely shouldn't sing and play. I sing backing vocals in Hellcat Molly. Like, what happened to my voice? What's your views on the blues players pulling... I assume that's wanky face expressions when soloing. Is it necessary? Well, it's not necessary, but it's one of those things you can't control. You cannot control it. I can force myself to do it now to illustrate it, but there's definitely faces that I pull, and depending on the vibe, like if I'm playing really dirty minor pentatonic, like in fact, let me lay a little vamp down. Yeah, something like that. One. I don't like that. Yeah, something like that. Apparently I can't play in time today. Let's try that one more time. 3, 4. I'm giving up on this. I can't play guitar. Let's not even do that. Let's just do something that I can play, apparently. I should plan these things in advance, shouldn't I? If I'm playing on something like that, how can you not, like when you hit that? Those sorts of faces, a little bit, maybe cranked a little bit there. Those types of faces, that's not for anything other than I'm stanking it. Yeah, you're getting dirty with the grooves. If I was playing something like, you'd never see that, because I'm not feeling that when I'm going. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, let me lower the volume. 3, 4. That didn't lower. I was just playing the recording. 3, 4. If I'm doing something like that, at no point, apart from when I play minor, do I want to go... I want to stank it a little bit more. So, oh Jesus, there's a lot of comments. I need to catch up. Guthrie Circus Funk. Yeah, if you do some research on that Guthrie Circus Funk stuff, again, that pops into mind because I've transcribed it. It's on my Facebook page. Yeah, there's a learning experience in that. They do not use computers to transcribe songs, no. What am I ultimately planning to do in my studio when it's done? Recording, producing? Well, I'm definitely not a producer. I want to be able to do the best quality videos. I want my videos to look amazing. I want my videos to sound amazing. I want to be able to podcast more, and I want it to look better, and I want it to sound better. But more importantly, I just want somewhere quiet that I can go. And if I want to crank up my amp and do some experimenting, who knows? That will inspire you to kind of to write. I really want to write again. I miss that writing thing. When I wrote the Hellcat Molly album, I didn't do it because I had to. I did it because let me rephrase that. I didn't do it because anyone was pressuring me to. I did it because I had to do it. It was there. It was in me, and I had to do it. I needed it to get it out of me, if you like. And yeah, maybe a studio is going to give me that sort of inspiration. But I'll give you another reason, right? The goal of the studio is to not have my life dedicated to music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I love music, and I love what I get to do for a living. It's awesome, right? But for 10 plus years, it's been my job. And it's hard to switch off from it because I finish work and I put my guitar down and then I'm here at my PC. And it just feels like I'm still at work. So having a place where I can separate that, have the place that I go to do all the work, have students over, create content and all of that, awesome. But then being able to lock that building up and then come away from it, come into my house and not be surrounded by music and, spend time with my wife, watch a film with my wife and read a book, play some cards, play a board game, do some painting, whatever it is. That'd be awesome. So it's trying to help that kind of work social life divide, that work personal life divide. I love the fact that I devote myself to my work. I really do. But at the same time, I also really enjoy it when I take some time away from it. So trying to get that balance in a healthy place is that's the real focus. Guitar is missing the head. I cut it off. Sorry, man. Do I have any advice on getting better over pentatonic? So it's Tomas Dolzaljek? I don't know, sorry. I can give some advice getting better on pentatonic, but it depends on the setting that you're playing in, right? Listen to people that play pentatonic. Like obviously when I'm going... When I'm doing that type of thing, it's very bluesy. I've listened to a lot of people that play like that, so it's easy for me to imitate it. But if you're talking from like a more rock or a fusion perspective, use more fourths, right? The pentatonic scale in G, B flat, C, D, F. Those are your notes. And it's very guitar playery to play it like that, right? Saxophonists will play things like... So I'm trying to do more. He's a Richie concert. That'd be my advice. Like when I'm playing like that bluesy fusion thing, if I was playing like if you're playing on that, I don't want to hear someone going. Now stuff like that's cool, but it's bluesy, right? I want something a little bit more modern sounding, so instead I might play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And the other thing I'm kind of drilling into here is playing quiet. Like that's... And then... stop playing those shitty lines. Shitty lines. I play classical guitar too. I wouldn't say yes to that. I used to. I had lessons on classical guitar. I studied classical guitar before I had lessons on electric guitar. I played classical guitar right up until college. And then I stopped sort of 3/4 of the way through college to focus on electric playing because classical guitar, while I enjoyed it, the discipline and the superiority complex among people that play it just really put me off. I liked the fact that I play classical guitar. I enjoyed playing classical guitar, and I can still pick up my classical guitar and play a little bit. I'm certainly not great, but that's the point, right? When, like, I hate being what's great. What is great? It doesn't mean anything. It's stupid, and they look down your nose at you. Like, I want to play rock guitar as well, and I'd be judged for that. And it's, how could you play that unsophisticated music? Fuck off, go away. Classical guitar players ruined classical guitar as much as Alan Holdsworth fans ruined fusion. Sweet picking. What about sweet picking? Nah, it's been way too long. I know all of the stuff slow because it's just not in there. I do the odd thing if I'm Long time since I've done anything like that. Put some delay on it though, it'll work, I'm sure. Let's try. I should practice, right? I just don't want to. So there you go, sweet picking. Cool. What's the best way to memorise the intervals like that? Chords. Chords. I say this all the time, but chords like that. Do you know C major? Do you know C minor? You know the difference between major and minor is the third. Cool, so that note must be the third. Do you know C major 7? Do you know C7? Cool, the 7th is that interval. Do you know C7 sharp 5? That must be the sharp 5. Do you know C13? Cool, that's my 13. Do you know C9? There's my 9. That teaches me where the intervals are. There somewhere. Mythaflex official. The Callum banish is complete. Callum, not Declan. Okay, cool. Levi, have you always been on the path being an instructor, or were you once skilled or set on a different path? I'm sorry, you're gonna have to ask. You're gonna have to reword your question. Are you saying I am no longer skilled? And at one point, maybe I had some skills, but now I have no skills, and now I am on the path of being an instructor. I started teaching when I was final year of high school, so 16? So I've been teaching for almost 15 years now. But education was always a passion of mine. I was well educated. I did really well in school. I could have and should have gone on to do academic subjects, like gifted and talented programs in school. Maths genius was thrown around from time to time. I always did well, right? But I'm also the kid that's most likely to throw a table across the room at someone because I didn't have a good upbringing, because I had a lot of trouble at home, so I had a temper, and I don't like authority. So doing well in school and having people telling you that your life is just set out before you. Oh, you're going to do so well in life. You're going to go on and you do great things in science or maths or whatever you turn your hand to. You're going to be a success. Fuck you! Don't tell me what to do. I sound like Rage Against the Machine, right? So I decided I'm not going to do what I'm told. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I enjoyed music at the time. I picked music up at 14, so it was in those first couple of years, and I decided, fuck it, I'm going to do this. Because I had this thought, and at the time, I guess I thought... Boys, do you mind? Do you mind? At the time, I guess I thought it was deep, but it's true. I looked forward in my life, and I thought, at some point, I'm going to be on my deathbed. And I hate the idea of looking back and saying, I did everything that someone else wanted me to do. I worked and made someone else rich. And when I thought like that, I thought, well, I'd much rather be poor. I'd much rather have nothing but do what I love than to not. So that's what I did. I did what I loved. And it's not always been easy. But fortunately, because I'm passionate about education and been very serious about education for the whole time, that served me very well. Did I end up finding the drain? Not yet. No, I haven't continued to look. Last time I followed a video lesson, it was my Lick Library Mastering the Blues thing. Do the funk thing, I'll buy it. Well, I actually did my second DVD for Lick Library, actually, just going back years. Mastering the Blues, right? My first DVD for them was Easy Blues Fusion. My second DVD for them was Easy Funk Fusion. So there's some funk. I've done some funk. Beer and guitars, my saviour. If someone wants to send me a beer, that would be fantastic. You can do that via a super chat. Or, you know what I've not done? Supporting this channel on Patreon. I was going to say there's a link in the description. It's probably not, is there? Support this channel on Patreon for as little as $1. It's a great way to buy me a beer and show your appreciation. Or, head on over to Amazon and check out one of my best-selling books. Delta Blues slide guitar soloing techniques, country guitar for beginners, 100 country licks for guitar, country guitar soloing techniques, the country fingerstyle guitar method, and the country guitar method compilation, which is a compilation of beginners, 100 licks, and soloing techniques. I'm currently working on 100 slide licks, the book, so that will come. Christian asks, favourite blues turnaround lines and or advice for getting that dramatic tension release sound happening there. When people talk, like, favourite one is this, if I'm playing a blues in any given key. So, 2 seconds. Okay, down. There's going to be a murder. There's going to be a murder. A murder. Someone's getting murdered. Someone's getting murdered. That's my wife home, guys, so at some point I'm going to leave. There's going to be a murder. A murder. Which one of you is getting murdered? Which one of you is getting murdered? There you go. Don't bark, Teddy. Don't bark. Hi, wife. I'm streaming.
Get down.
I will stop streaming at some point.
What are you saying? Get down.
I said I'm streaming.
Oh shit, okay, I'll fuck. Here.
Was this my gift?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Banana solely.
Banana bread.
Okay, thank you.
I'll be a minute. I won't be too long. I didn't have anything to do. So.
Let me rub it in.
Oh,
Go away.
not your fault.
Steady.
I did have stuff to do. I could have gone and played Magic.
Love you.
Thank you. So yeah, the lick I like to play is. So if we go. Maybe hit the. So. Or. Oh, we want to go back to the 1, so. Something like that. But I'll give you another one, a chordal one that I really like. So when I learnt to do like the Danny Gatton, when you learn that movement, and you learn that as in its substitute form, which would be A7, F sharp 7, B7, D, E7, A7. Tritone substitution, instead A, C, B, B flat. So you get this. So I like that, but spice it up. Instead of playing, you know, C, C7, why not play like a C9? And then I like to, well, initially I used to take that and move that down chromatically, so which works. But then I found that actually if you keep the top note the same, you go, and then what am I doing? Here's that. So there you go. Tension and resolution. Again, blues is a varied genre. Jazz versus like straight ahead blues. You want to be bluesy, you play more blues note, minor pentatonic with the blues note in there. You want to be more jazzy, then you hit the alterations. You play A. And then like what do I want? But let's be really hip and play like. You play something like that, or yeah, I guess you could hit like. I've done some study clubs on this as a subject, but yeah. Comments are flying in, so I'm going to whiz through them. Can you do funk? I really like. I mean, I was doing that earlier tonight, beer and guitars. I'll give you one I really like. So, James Brown's "I Got the Feeling" is 1, 2, 3, 4. That type of thing. This is turning into Funk Friday. I do like that though. Did I go to any music festivals this year? No, not this year. I went to Download last year, but nothing this year. What DAW do I use? I use Studio One. I'm currently on version 3, maybe. I own the next version, the latest version. I've just not installed it. Yeah. Thanks, Craig. My favourite scales. Hashtag fuck scales. Simple as that. I don't play scales. I simply don't play scales. It's not what I do. I play intervals. I play a collection of notes, and you know, I could say like Mixolydian. Love Mixolydian, right? But I don't. I don't love 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flat 7 at all. I love 1, 2, flat 3, 3, 4, flat 5, 5, 6, flat 7, 7, 1, which is like, what, 10 notes? I like that collection of notes. I like what you... If I play Mixolydian, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Volume is helpful. 3, 4. Excuse the spicy notes in there. That's Mixolydian, the notes are Mixolydian, but I don't play it like that. I prefer to play 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I can't bend behind the nut. I'd usually bend that up to get. So yeah, there you go. Favourite scales. Speaking of Miles, did I listen to the new album Rubber Band? No, I didn't. Thank you, James M. This is my Mayonnaise Hydra. I love it. Love it. Played it a while now. It's the only guitar I have in the house, to be fair. I'd probably be playing my telly. I love my telly more. But, you know, this is a cool guitar. Thank you very much, Ray. Some walking bass jazz would be nice. Yeah, no. I've got to go. Wife. Show us a Guthrie Govan lick. Can I remember... yeah. There you go, there's a Guthrie lick. That's not what I do anymore. Show us some spicy licks to use in the blues shuffle. Define spicy. Yeah, actually, no, I can. I played it earlier, so if I'm playing on G, I play... carried away there. How do I get good on guitar? Tailed feature. Good old tailed feature. Give up. I have. I'll let you know when I find out. There we go. Let's go with that. Have I seen the Boaz module guitar? Yeah, I made fun of it on the Guitar Souls podcast. Can I help you with your maths homework? It's fractions this week. Sure. You bought my country guitar for beginners book. I nearly called you by your real name there. Tailed feature. Awesome. Thank you very much. It was on sale this last month, so hopefully you got it half price. Hadouken. Do I know Tommy Emmanuel? Or do I know any of their stuff? I have a video tutorial playing. How's that go? I can't remember how to play it. That sucks. But yeah, I did I have a book. The Country Fingerstyle Method. I checked out my own book there, where I do a lot of jack and stuff. I really like that country fingerstyle thing, like the Travis picking thing. But evidently it's not something I have dealt with in a while. Hashtag I'm convinced, hashtag fuck scales. I'm a big fan of fuck scales. You need advice on saurine, banana or natural? Natural. She's not there. I love banana bread and I love saurine malt loaf. So she started buying me the banana stuff, but I'd rather just the regular stuff, to be honest. Tailed feature. Sit on your ass 20 years in practice. Yep. 19 years next month. Lindsay Buckingham. Actually, not someone that I've ever studied the playing of. Robin is online. How's it going? I'm about to leave, man. You paid full price. Damn it. It's tax deductible. You haven't had a chance to look at it. Damn it. Can I teach you a cool 251 lick? Let's have a look. Okay, yeah. I'm going to leave it there. I will teach you a cool 251 lick. Let's go with the So I recommend the book, the Bebop Bible, the Les Wise book, and the original notation one. And in it, you will find things like... So... Let's go for that. So we're going... That's our D minor lick. And then for the G, moving to B flat and thinking G super Locrian. And then descending for the C, actually land on the fourth. Adding a little bit of country to things, right? We're transcribing Brooks Robertson on my Patreon next month. So licks like that. Or maybe you do something like... Or... that's kind of nice. We'll go with that. And those types of things, like being able to play D minor. What am I doing? I guess you could, like a drop 3 voicing. So, anyway, right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm logging off. I'm going to go spend some time with the wife, which is, as I was talking about earlier, that's what I want to do with my time. So, much love. Thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate it. And like, comment, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies. Go listen to the new Guitar Souls podcast. Support me and keep your eyes peeled for future studio updates, because I'm starting to get there now, which is nice. How do I figure out what tuning a song is in? Experience. What are folk scales? #fuck scales. Please leave this stream up. I always leave these streams up. BMF456. Though, of course, if you're on Patreon, you can always just ask for the transcription of it. Just saying. So I'm going to leave this up for a second. Little as $1. $1. I was going to say, like, I'm acting like I'm broke, right? But I am. I've just paid my fucking tax bill, so I'm broke. I'm doing my studio, so I'm broke. I just got paid for my book royalties, but that's only for 6 weeks. Usually we get paid every 8 weeks, so that means that money now needs to last me for 10 more weeks. So I'm broke. Can't support me. Fuck's sake, Tim. Right, that's actually why I came on. The Wish elixirs are still holding up. They still feel good. They still feel like new strings. So credit, credit where credit is due. I'm pleasantly surprised by them, if I'm completely honest. Also pleasantly surprised by this Clone Centaur, the clone Centaur, because actually I enjoy using this pedal. So pleasantly surprised. But there you go, there's your answer. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. All the love in the world, and I will see you for another stream soon. Laters.